Good afternoon, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if probable cause exists for those charges. Probable cause simply means that it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person who committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me today, I presume that you're innocent to these allegations. That presumption of innocence stays with you through every stage of the proceedings unless and until the State Attorney's Office can prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release, that is your bail or bond. In most cases, your bond has been set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit, or the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this afternoon. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you have not had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. You all solemnly swear or affirm, tell truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please step forward to the podium. Jose Diaz Varela.
Good morning, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. What is your date of birth?
Buenas tardes, señor. ¿Cuál es su fecha de nacimiento?
26 de enero de 1989.
January 26th of 1989.
Sir, you have a charge of operating a vehicle without a valid license.
Señor, usted tiene una acusación de manejar un vehículo sin una licencia de conducir válida.
There's probable cause for that charge.
Y hallo que hay motivo fundado para esa acusación.
As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself, hire private counsel, would you like to be public defender?
Referente a esa acusación, ¿a usted le gustaría representarse usted mismo, contratar a un abogado particular o quisiera que le asignara un defensor público?
Yo mismo.
Myself.
And state, do you have any history?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And at the jail, can you confirm for me that there's an immigration hold for this gentleman?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
La cárcel pudiera confirmar que hay una retención de inmigración para este caballero. Sí, su señoría.
All right. So, Mr. Diaz, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance.
Señor Díaz, lo voy a poner en libertad bajo palabra.
Which should make you releasable to the folks at Immigration and Customs Enforcement if that's what they like.
Porque de esa manera usted va a estar disponible para las agencias de inmigración si eso es lo que a ellos les gustaría.
Otherwise, I'll plan on having you back in court on March 27th.
De otra manera, usted tendría que estar ante el tribunal otra vez el 27 de marzo.
Thank you, sir.
Gracias, señor.
Michelle DiVicaro. Afternoon, miss. What's your date of birth?
February 19th, 1987.
Michelle, the charge today is battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like a public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point to PD, state.
No prior history, Your Honor.
And Michelle, I have an address for you on Palace Avenue in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you been there?
I don't have an exact date. Probably a few years.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
I'm a stay-at-home mom.
Okay. And you live with Mr. Harrison?
I do.
Okay. And Mr. Harrison? Is Mr. Harrison?
No, this is my father.
This is her grandfather.
I'm an uncle, I'm sorry.
Okay, no, that's all right. Just we know what's going on. Okay. Michelle, I'm going to set your bond at $10. Condition of the bond, however, is that you can't have any contact with Mr. Harrison while this charge is pending. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message, you don't contact him through any social media. You don't have a third person contact him. You don't go where he lives. You don't go where he works. You don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine contacting him, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond can be revoked and you can be held without bond until the charge is resolved. It means no contact even if he wants to contact. So if you answer your phone and hear his voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see him, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that he cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision he gets to make. He may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges. He may tell them he's not interested in pursuing this matter, but that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they're not dropped, and you should not have contact. In addition, I have to hold you today up until 4 p.m., so that if you wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact, because in that case, not only would you get your bond revoked here, but you could get new charges for violating the injunction. As far as the address on Palace Avenue goes, as long as Mr. Harrison stays there, you'll have to stay someplace else until we get this case resolved. You can go by one time to collect your clothes, your toothbrush, whatever you need for wherever you plan to stay. To do that, however, you must contact the sheriff's office first. They'll meet you there with a deputy who will stand by while you get your things and get going where you're going. I'm going to have you back in court on the 27th of March. It's very important that you contact the public defender's office when you get out. As far as your kids are concerned, I certainly have no problem with you taking care of your children. The problem, of course, is how that gets arranged. You have to be careful not to have third-party contact with Mr. Harrison. That can be difficult. Now, there may be people who are aware what your situation is, and without you telling them to have contact, they can have contact with Mr. Harrison, so you can get this figured out, but you can't be the one that initiates that contact. You understand, Michelle?
Yes.
Okay. So like I said, March 27th, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ronald Ayer? Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
7/16/77.
Ronald, I got a warrant for you out of St. Johns County. The judge that signed that warrant filed probable cause for violation of probation and set your bond at no bond. I can't change that. We'll give those folks 5 days to come get you. If you're still here in 5 days, then they'll bring you back to see me, and I'll find out what the holdup is, but you should be gone before the 5 days is up on St. John's, okay?
All right, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
William Batten? Afternoon, William. What's your date of birth?
7/12/65.
William, the charge is driving on a suspended license. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender? I'll appoint the PD, Steve.
A driving with license, a third or subsequent offense, adjudication of guilt, where a state prison sentence was imposed in 2016, and a resist officer without violence, and a criminal mischief, both 2015 adjudication of guilt out of Hernando County, criminal mischief, another count with that. A Willis County jail sentence was imposed in 2015, adjudication of guilt. Another driving with license suspended in 2006 for habitual offender.
That's good. That's good. William, I have an address for you on Oakdale Ave in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
4 years now.
Do you have a job these days?
I'm disabled.
I'll set your bond at $2,000. I'll have you back in court on the 27th of March. Did you say you wanted the public defender?
Yes, sir.
So make sure you contact the PD when you bond out, okay?
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Very much.
Matthew Collins. Afternoon, Matthew. What's your date of birth?
9/23/89.
Matthew, I've got 4 new counts of retail theft. As to those charges, there's probable cause for each of them. You want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender. The bonds on these is $1,000 each. I'm going to leave those right where they are. They'll all be coming back on the 27th of March. PD will come see you before you come to court, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Dylan Ferreira. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
12/30/98.
Dylan, the charge is felony domestic battery by strangulation. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD, state.
No prior convictions, Your Honor.
Dylan, I have an address for you on Candlelight Boulevard in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you lived there?
6 months.
All right. And you live with Miss Culbertson?
Yes.
You have a job these days?
Yes.
What do you do?
I deliver pizzas.
I set your bond at $2,500. Condition of the bond is that you have no contact with Miss Culbertson. Did you hear me explain no contact a moment ago?
Yes.
Did you understand it?
Yes.
Also, I have to hold you up until 4 p.m. so that if she wanted to serve you with an injunction, we know where to find you. Same deal with that address on Candlelight. As long as she's there, you'll have to stay someplace else. You can go by one time to collect your things, but you must contact the sheriff's office first. I have you back in court on the 29th of March. Very important that you contact the public defender after you get out, okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John Wesley Harden. Infamous. Mr. Harden, what's your date of birth?
2/8/76. Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Harden, I have a warrant for you out of Missouri. Here's your options this afternoon. You're entitled to have an extradition hearing. The point of that hearing would be to determine if you're the right John Harden and if there is actually an active warrant for you out of the state of Missouri. While you're waiting for that to happen, you'll stay right here in the Hernando County Jail. The process can take something like 60 days. At the end of that process, if we determine that you are the right guy and Missouri does have a warrant, then the state of Missouri would have another 15 days to come get you. You can waive your right to that hearing this afternoon if you wish. If you waive your right to that hearing, Missouri will be notified this afternoon that they have 15 days to come get you. If they had not picked you up in the 15 days, they'd bring you back to me, and I'd find out if they're coming or what's going on or what the problem is. So, would you like us to arrange an extradition hearing, or would you like to waive that right and put Missouri on the clock right now?
I'd like to waive it, Your Honor.
Very good. I have a form for you to sign. All right. So, John, Missouri will be notified immediately. They have 15 days to come get you. If you're still here in 15, they're going to bring you back to see me, all right?
All right.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Caleb Meyer. Incoming. Sorry. Afternoon, Caleb. What's your date of birth?
January 26, 1997.
Caleb, I have 2 issues today. I have a warrant signed by Judge Rupi. She found probable cause for violation of probation, and they have new charges of possession of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. The bond on Judge Rupi's warrant is no bond. I'm not going to change that. That's coming back on the 27th of March. I'll leave the bonds on the new charges at $1,000 each. Those are also coming back on the 27th of March. Public defender will come see you, see if we can get these cases worked out then, okay?
Okay.
The office offer did not encompass the new charges, which are the same thing as he was on probation for. So I would not accept a 20-day arrangement today. Thank you. Joseph Monforti. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
19 April 1975.
Charges burglary of a dwelling. There's probable cause for the charge. As for that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Private counsel, sir.
Very good. State what's coming.
An adjudication held for carrying concealed weapon out of Sebastian County, Indian River County. Other than that, there no other history.
And sir, I have an address for you on Horizon Drive in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
Since 2013.
You have a job these days?
I'm retired military, sir.
Set your bond at $5,000. Condition is that you have no contact with your neighbor there, Miss Berkman. Did you hear me explain no contact earlier?
Yes, sir.
You understood that?
Yes.
Very good. Have you back in court on March 29th. Make sure that when you speak to your lawyer, tell him about that date. And then it should have a Jack Van Horn. Afternoon, Jack. Mr. Shaw, is this time served? Is that what we're doing, Jack?
I'm not sure, Judge, because Mr. Bauer is supposed to be doing this. He got tied up in juvenile court.
Okay.
I have
Jack, looks like you took 18 months DOC recently. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. How long have you been in jail right now?
1 month.
Okay. State any problem with time served?
No, Your Honor.
Jack, you want to take time served on the misdemeanor so you can get going?
Yes, sir, I would.
Very good. You understand by entering a plea today, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent. You're willing to give up those rights so we can take care of this today?
Yes, sir.
Case number 19MM728 is the charge of trespass. How do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
Guilty, sir.
Accept the guilty plea, find it was freely and voluntarily made, adjudicate you guilty of the charge. I'll sentence you to 20 days in the county jail, credit 20 days served. Finding court costs is $553, $100 for the public defender's office. I will not order cost of incarceration, as I'm sure that was done before. If there's nothing else keeping you here, Jack, you're free to go wherever you got to go next, all right?
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Good luck. All right. That should be it, right, Jill?
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.